everybody. I hope everybody's had a blessed weekend and a blessed Monday. We made it through it. Anyway, this is my daughter, Amber. Amber, how old are you, honey?
I am 20.
20 what?
28.
This is my daughter, Amber, my oldest daughter. She's 28.
I'm in denial about it.
Yeah, it's sad, but
I'll be 20,
she'll get there.
I'll be 29 this year, so that means I'll be 30 next year. And
She'll
I'm
get
freaking
there.
out a little bit.
Yeah, okay, so that's what we can do. Let's talk about anxiety.
Okay. I have no idea what we're talking about.
No, we just decided to do it impromptu. But anyway, I wanted to tell you, she is the mother of Jameson and Lorelai, my grandbabies. And then I have 3 other grandbabies by my son and his wife, Aaron and Brittany. And they have 2 daughters and a son. So, I think we're going to talk about postpartum depression and depression in general and anxiety and how the two connect.
Okay.
So, when did you realize that, or was under the understanding that you had anxiety? You finally, everybody goes like, no, I'm not anxious. It's just this, and this. But where did you come to that point? And it's like, okay, it's not just normal things happening around me that's making me be this way. Something else is going on.
I mean, it wasn't really like a denial thing. Like, I've always been anxious. Like, I've always, even as a kid. I think it was more so it took me a really long time to get on medication to make that decision.
So let me see if I got this correct. So you knew early on, but refused to do anything about it.
Well, I mean, I did like natural remedies. Like, I tried different vitamins and essential oils, which I'm all for, but eventually, like, in some situations, like, it just is inevitable. Like, you have to get on medication to get over the hump. Mm-hmm. So, and I feel like when we get to Savannah, my goal is to taper off of, my medication that I'm on now, because I feel like I'm, like, in a better place and I handle anxiety better than I used to. And when I went on medication originally, I was having, like, panic attacks a lot. So
now let me ask you this question, because this, anytime you talk about any kind of mental health problem, it's getting better, but we should be able to talk openly and honestly about the things that affect us. So I wanted to ask you, because there's a huge stigma attached to mental health disorders in itself, but also the medication. So, mm-hmm. So my question is to you, when you moved to Georgia, I mean, you plan on tapering off your antidepressant, or which one?
I mean, I'm only on one. I'm just on
antidepressant.
Yeah, I'm on. It's called sertraline.
Yeah,
and so it's. I've had to they of course start you off at like the lowest dose. Mm-hmm. So they started me off at like 25 milligrams, and then after I had my daughter last August, it was just a really stressful time, and so I called my doctor and they increased it, and I had increased it kind of over time. So now I started off at 25 milligrams. Now I'm on 100. So, which I've been on 100 for several months.
So do you recall how you felt the times that you weren't on it? Not while you're pregnant, because that in itself gives out you have your own, like, there's a certain thing about a woman when she's pregnant. She glows because her hormones are all kind of balanced out. Mm-hmm. Because your body's under stress, but it just goes to show you what our bodies are capable of. Yeah. So when the times you were off of it, when did you know to go back on it?
I mean, I've never been like off and on it. I've only I never took it, and then I started it. I've just slowly increased the dosage.
And what would be your rationale for increasing the dosage?
I mean, it was just like, okay, I'm starting to feel like I'm just irritable all the time and anxious all the time. Like, I'm not really enjoying my life.
Right.
So that was kind of like the rationale behind.
Okay, so yeah, I know you didn't. You went and got the doctor to prescribe something to you for sleep, but you really do need to give it a good try. Like take it for a month, because I remember my whole life I would just wake up in the morning. I was irritated.
Here, scoot this way.
I was just irritated, and the least little thing would just set me off. And now, but since I've been on that sleep medicine, I usually wake up refreshed. And the other thing is when your mind is not in a good place, it eventually goes out to the rest of your body, and your body's going to scream at you and tell you, hey, something's broken and I need you to fix it.
Yeah, but my opinion on antidepressants and like she was saying, sleep medications and all of that. I do believe that there are people that it is a legitimate, like it's genetic, or there is something like just a switch that's off in their brain or something. I do believe that medication should be used with like therapy, because in my opinion, anxiety and depression are a symptom of a bigger problem. Because I know for me, like when I am anxious, I am now at the point where I can stop myself and be like, okay, why am I feeling this way? And really anxiety and depression, it's usually, and like I said, this is my opinion and my personal experience, but it's usually you're just so focused inward. My husband and I have a saying. He says, like, you need to get out of your head, and so I believe there, and like I said, I'm at this point where I can, when I start feeling anxious, I can turn it into gratefulness. As soon, like, and
That's
then
awesome.
that changes my perspective. It really, a lot of it is all perspective.
That's right.
Now, like I said, there are people, like I know someone, they're bipolar, and she's on medication for that. And like with sleep medications, I'm very I try to be very holistic in how I treat my kids, like when they get ear infections and stuff, and really just with like how we kind of do like a no sugar diet, just try to be very health conscious.
Until Grandma Gigi comes.
Yes, she
I
brought
brought
in,
him a
like,
root beer and some. It had chocolate on the popcorn and it was coated popcorn and all kind of yummy.
It was yummy, but and I do like we do have treats every now and then. But what I was getting at is they're like with sleep. She told me like about the sleep medication she went on, and I tried it, but then what I ended up doing was like, okay, well, why am I not sleeping well? Am I not giving myself time to release the melatonin in my brain? Like, am I not like decompressing in the evenings enough? Like, I tried to assess what my night routine was, and that made all the difference. So that's kind of where I come from with with medications and all of that.
Yeah, and listen, hey, I was on too many meds at one time. I don't like medications either because the side effects, I have horrible side effects to medication. I'm very sensitive. I have a lot of allergies, but had I known what I know now when I was her age, I would have said, okay, if I'm not getting any sleep, well, other things are going to begin to break down. And I truly believe if I had gotten the adequate amount of sleep, I can handle every day, and I actually look forward to other things. And the other thing is, with anxiety, if you can get into a routine, a routine is so important. Like, okay, I get up, I go make coffee, I let the dogs. I mean, you don't have to be specific on it, but routine and a schedule that also helps alleviate anxiety. What's some for you, Amber?
That alleviates anxiety. Definitely routine.
And what are your triggers as well?
Yeah, definitely routine. I mean, if you look on our fridge right now, I have a like routine that it's all on there of like, this is what time I get up. I mean, that's another thing. So routine, for moms, getting up before your kids is crucial for me, even though, I like sleep, but the days that I wake up and my oldest, Jameson, is an early riser. Like, he's up by 6:30.
Yeah, he's up early.
Yeah. The days that I get up after he does, my whole day I'm just like anxious and, I just feel like I can't catch up. I can't like get on top of things. Yeah. And then the days that I make it a point to get up early and I wake up and the house is quiet and, I'm able to drink my coffee and do my Bible study, my whole day is different. So that's a coping mechanism. The whole gratefulness, writing out things that I'm grateful for. There's something called, like, at the end of the day, before you go to bed, your what's it called? Like the victories for that day, focusing on like things
celebrate
that
the small victories is what I say.
Yeah, because it can
Be
get
grateful.
in your head that like, oh, I didn't accomplish anything. I didn't, and when you write it down,
cut yourself some slack.
Journaling is another one.
I do too. But back to you on like the I notice for me, if I don't do my Bible study in the morning, even if it puts me out late getting to DoorDash, I still need to do it. If I don't do it in the morning, my days just don't go as well. How about you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it makes like a huge difference. That whole morning routine, like if I don't do that, then, usually my alarm will usually go off, sometime between 5:30 and 6. And I get up, I do my coffee, I light some candles, do my Bible study, do some worship, and by that point, like I said, by 6:30, Jameson's awake, and then, he does come out of his room, and like he has an allotted time that he can watch TV, because I try to really keep his TV time down. But I would say for moms, anxiety or no anxiety, like it is crucial that you get up before your kids.
Yeah, so. And Jameson, he's a really smart little boy, and yes. He's a little too smart for his own good.
Yeah, but
he's sweet. He's precious. Him and Lorelai both are just as sweet as they can be.
Lorelai is the sleeper. Lorelai sleeps like a champ.
Yeah.
And Jameson does too when he actually sleeps. But
and so let's get back to what we were talking about. So what do you feel are some of your biggest triggers for anxiety?
Getting off of my schedule.
Okay.
Just my daily routine. Transitions are really hard for me, like in seasons like we're in right now with packing and all of that. I've actually, in my opinion, done pretty well with this transition.
That's good.
Not giving myself grace. Like if the house is a mess,
right.
If my house is cluttered, then my mind is cluttered.
Yeah.
That gives me anxiety. I read something that said like if I wake up to a dirty kitchen from the day before, that just automatically starts my day off really crappy. I read somewhere like it's kind of like a reset, when you clean up just tidy up your space before you go to bed, because then you wake up and it's like, starting over. So that's a trigger. If I don't sleep good, like if I have a night that the kids are up and down all night, like I definitely can tell a difference on nights that I don't get a good amount of sleep. So
yeah, it really does. It really does affect you. I know it affects me pretty good. I do better like if I have my medical marijuana. It's mainly for pain and for to help me rest as well. But it does make a difference, because I tried it taking the amitriptyline at night without the medical marijuana, because I had to renew my card. Anyway, in the Department of Health here in Florida, they want $75 to renew it. But anyway, so if I do the amitriptyline alone, I don't sleep as well, and I don't wake up in the morning as refreshed. Now, if I do a half of an indica gummy and my amitriptyline, then I do pretty well.
Yeah. I didn't feel like I needed it, and so I, like I said, adjusted my routine, and it's worked out great.
Yeah, I mean, it's always if you can do life changes that will affect us. See, this is what I was talking to you guys about the other day is I have to get out and start walking again because my cholesterol is elevated, and every time they've done my sugar is borderline.
Mm-hmm.
So, before I let them put me on pills, I need to, make some life-altering changes.
Yeah. Walking is something that helps anxiety a lot.
Yeah.
Diet, sugar is a anxiety trigger. So we kind of, for the most part, we do like a keto type lifestyle, which is like whole foods.
Yeah.
When we get off of that, I definitely notice that my anxiety gets worse.
And another thing, and I'm proud of Amber for doing this. You'd be surprised about the things that you put in your mouth that affects your how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
And Amber and Chris and the babies, they don't drink anything usually but water, and that is so important because we don't hydrate ourselves enough. And when you don't take care of the body, it begins to break down in other areas.
Yeah, Chris and I aim to drink like a gallon a day.
They drink water all the time.
Yeah. I don't know how people just drink like sodas.
Well, I don't drink sodas, but I do drink sweet tea, but sweet tea is packing on the pounds.
Oh, yeah, the sugar.
I mean, but, that's my next goal. I quit cigarettes, and I'm gonna quit my sweet tea. And in the midst of that, just keep walking a little bit every day. Doesn't have to be a lot, but a little bit every day. Yeah. And eventually, every step matters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, every step that you take to be proactive in your health and your and in the health of your children and your husband or your family, I should say, is a step in the right direction because it's a good thing to do because you always feel good after you do it.
Mm-hmm.
You may be sore, but mentally speaking, you do better when you stay with the routine and don't talk yourself out of it.
I know, like that's been the hardest part about my knee. When we went to Savannah a few months ago, I fell in Savannah and hit my knee really, really bad. And my husband's like, you need to back off of it because it's not healing properly, and or it's really, it still hurts. And so I found a lady on YouTube called Body Fit by Amy,
Mm-hmm.
and I love her workouts, and I started to really look forward to them. And there were days where like I was just super grouchy and irritable, and instead of turning to food, I was like, I need to work out. And I like didn't feel like it, but within like 5 or 10 minutes I felt amazing. And then afterwards I was like, okay, I feel so much better.
That's good.
Yeah.
At least you got the mindset down, and just keep doing. And sometimes you're gonna be weak and slip up. If you slip up, give yourself a break. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna go hang you or
I hope not.
crucify you because you failed on your diet that day. I mean, that's the thing, or your exercise regimen. That's the whole thing about it. You have to learn to give yourself a pat on the back and give yourself the okay that it's okay to slip every now and then.
Yeah.
We're all human. We're all headed for the same goals, hopefully, unless you're just not a believer. But every Christian alive, we're all headed for the same goal, to stand before the Lord and say, for him to say, well done, my good and faithful servant.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the main strive.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I'm so glad that I could do this video with Amber. I thought she was going to talk her way out of it, but I'm so glad that she did it with me. And maybe she and I can still do some more when I can figure out my computer and do it via Zoom or something like that.
Oh, yeah, like from Savannah.
Yeah. But anyway, as always, I love talking with my daughters about things. Maddie, she doesn't really want to talk to me a whole lot. Yeah, I don't know. Amber's...
It's the age.
Yeah, Amber's getting better as she gets older.
Except when I'm in the middle of packing and she calls me and she's like, why aren't you answering? I'm like, I'm trying to pack. And I have 2 kids. I'm a stay-at-home mom, so my life is...
chaotic.
Chaos.
Yeah.
So...
I forget, but yeah, she's right. I just worry. I don't know why. I really don't worry, but yeah.
And I'm not one of those people, like, it actually I'm a millennial technically, but it drives me nuts how our culture tells us like, if someone texts you, you have to, like, there's this expectation to answer right away or something's wrong.
Right.
Like, it's just that kind of instant gratification thing that our culture has cultivated. And so I like, because my phone can be in another room for hours and I don't look at it.
Oh, that's good.
So, and I've come back and my phone has been blowing up. So, yeah, I don't always have my phone on me.
And that's a very valid point, Amber. We all need to set the phone down during the day, and whatever you're doing, whether you're getting out and getting some exercises, or you know, or you're going to cook, or maybe you're just sitting down and taking a cat nap midday. Mm-hmm. Sometimes that helps really good. I know for me, I'm getting to the point where I kind of need to.
Yeah, they're good. Naps are good for stress and anxiety. But yeah, I just try to be present with my kids, and I don't want my kids to grow up thinking that my phone's more important than them. So
that's an awesome way to look at it, Amber. All right, guys, I love y'all. Maybe y'all see me and her again. All right, bye.